Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another podcast episode. So we got a lot to discuss. So the first topic I want to talk about is Nicki Minaj tagging Republic Capital on her Instagram. So she adds Republic with a bunch of question marks. Then she adds Republic again with 1.1 question mark. Then she adds Capitol Records, okay, with apostrophes and question marks. And then she puts a bunch of heart emojis and posts this text thread. Blank wants to do this, and if they say something to you or your team, let me know so I can do what I do. Now, many delusional fans, the Cardi B fans and, the scratch off fans who are the crackpots, they were going on social media and saying, oh, well, she's posting these cryptic posts on Instagram because she wanted Capitol Records and Republic Records to stop Jungkook from going number one. Okay? Because she didn't want Scratch Off to get her first number one, which I doubt. Scratch Off lucked up because of Scooter Braun, who dislikes Nicki Minaj and asked her to be on the song. And he works with a few members on BTS. But I don't think Nicki cares because it's not like Scratch Off went number one by herself. It's not her song. That song would have went number one with or without Scratch Off. And Scratch Off knows this. That's why, she posting little subliminals, like she posted a picture. But she's not going to brag too much because she knows that she will get dragged for taking credit for, Jungkook going number one. She knows it wasn't her doing. She just released a feature with J-Rock. That shit is flopping. She knows she don't have no impact. Okay? So I don't think Nicki really cares that much. I think that she's trying to do a business deal, possibly with Ice Spice. People think that Ice Spice is signed to Nicki. That is not true. She's under 10K Capitol Records, and that is public information. I don't know why people keep saying that she's signed to Nicki. Okay, unless Nicki buys Ice Spice out of her contract, that is the only way she would be able to sign Ice Spice, which would cost millions. Which, Nicki probably has the $3 million, but why waste it, when you already got 5 artists? You already got 5 or 4 artists on your record label anyway. So it would make sense just to push them. But I think she's trying to conduct a business deal. Okay? An actual partnership. I think people already think they're in a partnership, but Ice Spice was already signed when she did the Princess Diana remix. So it would be a breach of contract to try to sign with Nicki Minaj. Okay, which I don't think Ice Spice really want to do. She a new artist. And is NBA YoungBoy under Capitol Records? I looked it up. I didn't see that he was under Capitol. Now people, were saying that, oh, she pushing the album back to January 1st. Well, she can't push it back to January 1st because January 1st is a Monday. Everybody knows that artists are not supposed to release no damn album on Monday because you will lose a few days within the tracking week. That's 3 days she gonna lose of sale. So, if she want to lose 3 days of sales, then sure, release January 1st. Okay? But if you don't want to lose 3 days of sales, it wouldn't make sense to release on January 1st. Now, she can release in January, just not January 1st because she will lose 3 days of sales. So that didn't make sense either. But I think it probably either the tour or she trying to conduct a business deal between Capitol, Republic, Ice Spice, the person she called the princess. But either way, I think that, this should be handled privately. Okay? I don't think that she should have tagged them publicly because it leaves people to speculate. And then also, when you're posting text messages and stuff like that, people are going to do the same thing to you. And I think, that's why I feel like other female rappers and female reciters feel so comfortable, disrespecting Nicki and recording phone calls because they were like, oh, well, she does it all the time. She's quick to post a text message. And even though she didn't say who it was from, you can kind of allude that it's probably somebody with pull or an executive because of what the text message said. Okay? And adding labels and stuff like that. I think it should have been handled privately, good or bad, because at the end of the day, you don't want the label to turn on you before you release an album, especially Republic. Capital, we don't care about, but you don't want Republic to be like, listen, we not giving her no push. We not giving her no radio play, because radio play and playlisting, all of that helps an artist maintain stability on the charts. Now, moving on to Netflix, they have a documentary coming out for the ladies first, a story of women in hip hop. And in the trailer, they leave out Foxy Brown and they leave out Nicki Minaj. And they also leave out Lauryn Hill. A lot of fans are taking notice of this. This actually isn't shocking to me because I remember Hulu did a docuseries on female rap and they did the same thing. So this is actually not really shocking. Nicki probably turned down being interviewed by them, and so they decided to take her out of the docuseries. But, they still could possibly put them in there. They might not just be interviewing like they're doing with Scratch Off and Sweetie and Queen Latifah and the rest of, the D and F listers in music. And they even got Chica, and she don't even sell no records, okay? So I know that they're trying to get underneath Nicki Minaj's skin. They know the Barbs are going to talk about it. This is easy promo, and that's why I'm going to pay this dust, okay? Because I know they're trying to get underneath Nicki Minaj's skin. How can you talk about hip-hop, especially female hip-hop, and not bring Nicki Minaj or Foxy Brown or Lauryn Hill into the conversation? And Nicki been in the game for 15 years, okay? Lauryn Hill still has the highest selling debut album of all time for a female rapper, okay? Her album went diamond. So how can you leave her out of the conversation? They're obviously trying to get underneath, the fan skin. They know it's going to bring promotion, controversy. And so they might put them in the documentary. They're just not going to be talking like, the Queen Latifahs and the Brats and the other rap stars. But they distinctively didn't put Nicki and Foxy and Lauryn Hill in the trailer because they knew that if they put everybody in the trailer, it's not going to be as much controversy. They're clearly trying to get clicks and views. Now, moving on to Messy Lee, Cardi B's bestie. She's friends with all the blogs that praise her constantly. Messy Lee was at a restaurant and Raleigh pulled up on him and he got security. He was scared. He was about to pee in his pants. You can tell that he was definitely scared of Raleigh. He didn't want a knot on his head like the knot that she left on Cardi B at the Harper Bazaar event when she threw that shoe at Nicki Minaj. He wasn't expecting Raleigh to be there. And, a lot of fans were bigging Raleigh up for, approaching Messy Lee because allegedly he was talking about her child. Okay. And so some fans were like, well, he's a man. So, of course, he can't really approach Raleigh or get physical with her because at the end of the day, she's a woman, he's a man. Well, maybe physically he's a man, but on the inside, Messy Lee is a bitch to me. He has a lot of female tendencies. I don't really consider him a man, in my opinion. Messy Lee has too much female tendencies to be a man. I don't really think that he is to me. I wouldn't consider him a man. No shade. So I feel like if you argue with a woman all the time or you going back and forth with women all the time, which Messy Lee has done his whole career, you're not really fully a man. What grown-ass man goes back and forth with women all the time? Only ones with female tendencies. So to me, you a bitch. You a girl. Okay? You want to be one of us. So with that being said, I didn't really consider him a man, but I do understand physically he looks like one. So I do understand that logic, and I feel like a lot of times Cardi B has to send her friends to fight her battles. I remember Star Brim said that she wanted to fight Raleigh. I'm like, don't you got a case to fight? Okay, didn't you go to federal prison? Like, I'm like, what is Star the criminal doing here? You know what I'm saying? But she got to have her friends fight her battles. That's why, Ken Barbie went after JT, okay? Because she has her minions. And, even me as a person that talks about celebrity news, there are certain artists that, don't mess with Nicki Minaj, and I still, show them love and grace, aka Normani. Now, if she was being disrespectful to Nicki, it'd be a whole different story. But Normani has, been behind the scenes. She don't really put out music, and I do, come after her for that because I feel like, Normani has the talent to put out music and it may not be her fault. But I don't really be going hard on Normani. I don't go hard on Summer Musty Walker. Okay, I don't go hard on Musty Walker. And she don't really mess with Nicki like that, aka Summer. SZA, I'm a huge SZA fan. I don't know if she really messed with Nicki like that. But just because an artist don't mess with Nicki, I don't really be going hard on them. I don't like an artist based on what they do. Okay, it has nothing to do with their relationship with Nicki Minaj. That's not how I roll. Okay, because there's people that Nicki like that I don't really like. Okay, she messed with Champagne Thickums. He's okay to me. I mean, I feel like he a snake in the grass. I don't understand why she keep him around. And he betrayed you once. Why keep him around? The City Thoughts, same thing. But I didn't like the City Thoughts before they got cool with Nicki Minaj because they don't have enough talent, in my opinion. JT has a little bit more talent, but Careshá don't. Scratch Off. I was calling Scratch Off before it was a trend because I never really got into Scratch Off like that. Okay, Low Energy was okay to me. I didn't listen to that song. I've never been a huge fan. Same thing with Koi Fish. She's part of the TikTok untalented crew. So I go based on how the artist's catalog is and how they act. That is what determines if I support an artist. It has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. Okay, because I have my own mind. But these grown men don't have their own mind, and they do whatever Cardi B tells them to do because they go to Cardi B's birthday parties. Like, Nicki don't have to invite me to no birthday party for me to support her. I support her out of the goodness of my heart. I don't have to go to Papa Bear's 4th birthday party to, support Nicki Minaj. But that's the reason why they support Cardi B, because she invites them to events. They're hoping to get interviews. She invites them to Culture's birthday party. She even had DJs at her birthday party for Culture. She had a few DJs there. I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl is really delusional. She has no real friends in real life. That is sad. Now, moving on to Offbeat Careshá. So, Offbeat Careshá has JT and Little Doodoo babysit her child. And JT and Little Doodoo bring the child, her son, I believe he's 10, to a strip club, okay, and have him throw in money at strippers. Now, fans online were saying, oh, he's not near the strippers. It doesn't matter. A 10-year-old should not be at the club, okay? Somebody needs to call CPS. Seriously, this is ridiculous. Why would you have a 10-year-old at a strip club? Like, come on now. That's ridiculous. Now, I know JT don't have no kids, but do you have pebbles in your brain? Is there pebbles inside that skull of yours? Because that makes no sense. If that was a girl going to the strip club, it would have been, an outrage. But because it's a guy, nobody really cares. People are saying, oh, well, he wasn't near the strippers. He has no business being at the strip club. You need to go over there and play some video games, go to Six Flags, Disney World. That's what he needs to be doing. Okay? He has no business being at the strip club at age 10. Now, if he was 18, 19, I can kind of understand. You know what I'm saying? But JT don't need to be babysitting nobody. Okay? Clearly, she's not that great of an influence. I would never have anybody from the City Thoughts babysit no children. That's ridiculous. And then, of course, Caresha's like, oh, well, he had a good time. Of course he did. He was looking at titties and butt cheeks at age 10. Okay? But this is ridiculous. That was clown behavior and very inappropriate on JT's part. And I'm pretty sure little Dookie don't care. And I just think that people gotta stop allowing these celebrities to get away with certain things. Now, moving on to Doja Lamar the Demon. Now the people left in the kitty litter fan base are trying to say that, Doja Cat went off because it's not really Doja Cat. This is her alter ego, Scarlett. Oh my goodness, you're so delusional. It's so sad. One of her fans posted, please, attention, Doja does love us, but she is now playing the role of Scarlett. They are two different characters. In an interview, she said that she apologized for what would happen later. She also says she would love us before she get into the role of Scarlett. She doesn't dislike us, but Scarlett does. She's evil, but Doja doesn't. Despise us. Dislike messages are from Scarlett. Oh my goodness, the kitty litters are so delusional. First of all, Doja Cat is copying Nicki Minaj by having an alter ego named Scarlett. Okay, because Nicki Minaj did that with Roman. And even when Nicki Minaj is Roman and, Red Ruby and Chung-Li, she still doesn't bash her fans. She's Red Ruby and Roman in the music, okay? Doja is Doja Badu, Doja Lamar in the music. She's not even Scarlett, okay? She's Doja Badu, okay? Them soft-ass raps are not hard. Nicki Minaj goes hard in the raps, goes hard in her music. That's why she changes character. Doja Cat only goes hard on her fans, okay, because Detention flopped, okay, and she goes on rants on social media, angry, just like Cardi B. Nicki Minaj doesn't do that, okay? Nicki never, switched up on her fans when she changes character. So please don't start, oh, this is Scarlett. They're so delusional. You're right. It was an alter ego. It was Doja Badu, Doja Lamar, a.k.a. Doja Cat. You don't want to make Fetch happen so badly. She has said several times you guys are stupid. And I guarantee you she probably looking at that post and saying, see, this is why they're so dumb. I can't stand these fans. I bet you when she saw that post, she was pissed. Because she does not mess with y'all. Okay, get it through your thick skull. Stop it. Okay, she don't mess with y'all. It has nothing to do with an alter ego. Don't give her that excuse. She don't have to say those things to her fans. You're supposed to be alter ego in the music, not on social media. Okay, when Queen Bee was Sasha Fierce, she was Sasha Fierce in the music. She wasn't going on rants on Twitter and threads. Okay, she was Sasha Fierce in the music. Let's be very clear. Now, moving on to Quavo, he gets robbed on a boat. I'm starting to think people really don't mess with Quavo like that. I mean, it's always something with him. Ever since he left Sweetie, he ain't been right. I think Sweetie and Quavo need to get back together. Ever since they left each other, things have not been right with them too. It's weird how a breakup can affect you so heavily. Like, they both started flopping musically. Sweetie getting passed around by different rappers. First it was Baby, YG. She already dated Michael B. Jordan, Keith Powers, and Justin Combs. And Quavo, obviously. Quavo and Off the Cheat are at odds. Okay. Mostly due to Cardi B. Because Cardi has put in Off the Cheat's ear that he's the Beyonce of the group, which is false. But things have not been right between, Sweetie and Quavo. It's like it's always something with Quavo every other month. Okay? I think he needs to just remain low key. Because I feel like it ain't good for him. Somebody after Quavo. He needed, pipe down and stay low key, stay in the house. So Azealia Banks responds to a comment on Instagram. A Instagram user said, Queen B should have sampled Azealia Banks on Renaissance. And she responded and said, I would sue her, Sony, Columbia, Parkwood Entertainment, and Blue Ivy. Okay? And my whole thing is, Azealia, this is why your career is in the toilet. Okay? Because you have a nasty attitude. Okay? Queen B sampling you is a blessing for your career because you ain't got no hits. You are a flop. Okay? Queen B sampling you and Khalees is a benefit because you get paid when you get sampled if you own your music or own your publishing. Okay? If you wrote the song but you may not own the song, you can still get paid. But at the end of the day, that would be a blessing for somebody like Azealia Banks because you don't have a career. All you do is give your opinion on celebrities because your music career is flopping. Okay, you should become a blogger. Okay, you need to do a YouTube channel. But you won't because you'll get clowned because you're an artist and you're a flop. Okay? And Azealia Banks has talent, but she's not charismatic. She doesn't have the charisma. And nobody wants to collaborate with her because she has a nasty attitude. She was supposed to work with Rihanna. She was supposed to work with Lady Gaga. And this is why people don't want to work with her because of this attitude that she has right now. No, Carlee Russell admitted that she did fake her abduction, and her boyfriend put out a statement. He said Carlee's actions created hurt, confusion, and dishonesty. I was made aware of these false narratives after coming to defense of my ex, Carlee Russell, because they broke up. Myself and my family's nature was to react in love and genuine concern. We are disgusted from the outcome of the entire situation. I strongly feel exactly like you all, blindsided with Carlee's actions. Blah, 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 blah. Now, with that being said, allegedly, she might face some criminal charges. I think that they should give her maybe a few months in jail. Nothing too serious. I'm seeing people say she deserves like 20 years. No, she don't. Okay, stop. Let's be realistic. She deserves a few months, maybe community service. And one thing that they should require is that, she do some form of therapy. Okay? But with that being said, it's kind of his fault though. Because they're saying that allegedly he was the one that made her go crazy. And she did this to get his attention after she flunked out of, nursing school. She had caught him cheating, and there was a DM going around of her, like, going after the girl that he was messing with on the low. And I'm just thinking, this is kind of your fault. No shade. I mean, of course, you didn't force her to abduct herself, but you caused this girl to go crazy, and now you're leaving her in the dust. Okay? Why did you cheat on her? Now, she might not be a nice, honest person, but what made you cheat on her and see other women? But you gotta be careful who you sleep with, child, because, people make you go crazy. And now they're saying there's a bunch of women in his DMs. Why? If he cheated on that girl and made her go crazy, what you think is gonna happen to you? A lot of women are like, oh, well, he kind of fine. Personality might be trash, though. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for all the support. I will see you guys in the next podcast episode, and have an amazing day.